extrapolation of our topic. The deductive reasoning was first taught by the classical economists. Some of them are Adam Smith, David Ricardo, Thomas Malthus, and John Stuart Mill. These economists have a problem to solve, and so they would analyze all the factors that could affect this problem. They will put all the factors and they would try to think about what would happen if another external factor would intervene into this problem. So they could hypothetically tell us what would happen. Here we have the circular flow of model in economics. This flow has two currents, real currents that are the natural resources, the labors, and the capital, and also the monetary current that are the rent, the wages, and the prices and profits. The monetary current is the exchange of those goods, services, and factors, and it's done through the monetary payments. Here we have the flow. Here we have the household, the government, and the firms. A household works and it receives a wage for their work, so that with that income they could buy some goods, consume goods and services. And so this money will go to the firm, but also the firm consumes the resources they need to make their products. Also, both firms and households have to pay some taxes to the government, but this money gets back to them when the government pays for goods and services. Okay, so here we have two relations that can be applied to any business model. First is the mechanistic model. If a person works, it will receive a wage. And so if the person makes another relationship with other firms or the government, it will receive more money. So that person would look for new relationships or incentives to get more money. And on the other hand, we have the psychological model that applies that in the sense that if I am happy with my work and I work okay, I will receive more higher income. Here we have main concepts to understand all that we are talking about, that are the salary, that it's the payment or regular remuneration, the unemployment, that are the people who do not work, the demand, that are the quantity of goods that consumers want and can acquire, and also the goods and services that are the objects that provide profit to the consumer. Here we have the economic model of the flow in a hypothesis. In the case of Mexico, the companies with more, if they reduce the workers, their worker salary, it will cause that the losses that are greater than the inputs of money for development of this circular model. In this case, if the wages drop, then the flow will be in a smaller way. Here we have an example of the real life. In 2012, Mexicana started insolvency, and we could observe that more than 1,400 companies began to suffer their consequences. Here we have a diagram to analyze the situation. If Mexicana closed, then they will stop consuming costumes, and so then that will be a decrease on the income for this firm. and it will be like a chain effect for all the other firms.
Finally, to evaluate our hypothesis, we have a study made by the economist Robert Cabrera, who have made an interview called Prospects for Senior Management in Mexico 2015. It concludes in the new risks and challenge that Mexican business will have during the next years. First, we have the ability to sell more to the customers. It implies an expansion to the business throughout the world. Then, the sales supported by information technology and cloud computing. It includes the innovations that industries have to acquire during the next years to have a better quality of their products. And then we have the sustainable development related to the environment, to not pay more negative externalities to government and to avoid some implication in ethical environments. And then we have the regulatory actions from government, and it implies that the government, as an important agent, economical agent in the Mexican economy, will have to take more actions in the economy who could avoid a great or a plain business for many enterprises. Finally, we had the conclusions. The main problem in Mexico is the lack or the less of productivity from economic agents, and therefore the flow of income is going to decrease. According to the hypothesis and to the survey, we understand that the innovation, the best use of assets, and improvement in the IT are the main points that business has to treat during the next year to increase the productivity and to become more competitive in the long term. Since Mexico is a mixed economy, government have to make more actions like the economical, the energy, and the communication reforms to promote for the economic competitiveness and to overcome resistance in worldwide to the several markets around the world.
Here we have our sources. Thank you for your attention.